Your job starts to feel like it's suffocating your creativity and freedom. Every day feels like a repetition of the same mundane tasks, with no end in sight. You dream of breaking free from the shackles of a traditional career, but the fear of uncertainty holds you back. You've tried to make changes, to find a better work-life balance, but it's just a myth that keeps you trapped in a cycle of burnout and dissatisfaction. You're not alone. Millions of people are stuck in this rut, feeling like they're just going through the motions. The truth is, you don't have to be a slave to your job. You can create a life of freedom and wealth where you're in control of your time and your destiny. That's exactly what Timothy Ferriss shows you how to do in The 4-Hour Workweek. The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss is a book that teaches you how to escape the 9-to-5 grind and create a lifestyle of wealth and freedom. In this summary, you'll discover how to eliminate the time management myth and create a life of true freedom. You'll learn how to create a muse, a source of automatic income that allows you to pursue your passions. You'll understand how to take mini-retirements to recharge and reflect on your life and goals. And you'll see how to fill the void with purpose and meaning so you can live a life that truly fulfills you. These aren't just tips or tricks, they're proven strategies that have been tested by thousands of people. Drop a comment with the title of the next book you'd like me to turn into an audiobook summary. Now, let's dive into the first key learning. You're stuck in a never-ending cycle of monotony, feeling like a hamster on a wheel, getting nowhere fast. Every day blends together in a blur of routine, with no sense of purpose or fulfillment. You're trading your precious time for a paycheck, only to find yourself stressed, overwhelmed, and unfulfilled. You're not alone in this struggle. Millions of people are trapped in the same vicious cycle, feeling like they're just going through the motions. The problem is, you've been conditioned to believe that this is the only way to live, that the 9-to-5 grind is the key to success. But what if I told you that there's a better way? A way to break free from the shackles of monotony and create a life that's truly yours. The concept of lifestyle design is about creating a life that's tailored to your needs and desires, rather than following the traditional path. It's about identifying your values and priorities and designing a life that aligns with them. This requires a fundamental shift in your mindset, a willingness to challenge the status quo and forge your own path. It's not about being reckless or irresponsible, it's about being intentional and purposeful. When you design your lifestyle, you're not just creating a better life, you're creating a life that's meaningful and purposeful. You're breaking free from the constraints of traditional societal expectations and creating a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. So, why does this matter to you? Well, think about it. How many times have you felt like you're just going through the motions, like you're stuck in a rut and can't escape? How many times have you felt like you're not living the life you truly want? The reason you're stuck is that you've been living someone else's dream rather than your own. You've been conditioned to believe that success is about achieving certain milestones, rather than creating a life that's truly fulfilling. But what if you could create a life that's rich in time and mobility, rather than just wealth? What if you could wake up every morning feeling excited and fulfilled, rather than stressed and overwhelmed? Let's take a look at some examples. The new rich, a term coined by Timothy Ferriss, are individuals who have achieved wealth and freedom through unconventional means. They're not just wealthy, they're rich in time and mobility. They've designed their lives to be free from the constraints of traditional societal expectations, and they're living a life that's truly theirs. Take, for instance, the story of Timothy Ferriss himself. He's a great example of someone who has designed their lifestyle to achieve freedom and fulfillment. He's created a business that generates passive income, allowing him to travel and pursue his passions. He's not just living a life of luxury, he's living a life that's truly meaningful and purposeful. Another example is that of a successful entrepreneur who has designed their lifestyle to include travel and adventure. They've created a business that can be run from anywhere, allowing them to explore the world and experience new cultures. They're not just making a living, they're living a life that's rich in experience and adventure. They're breaking free from the constraints of traditional societal expectations and creating a life that truly reflects their values and priorities. As Timothy Ferriss says, the new rich define richness as having time, freedom, and monetary wealth. This quote really resonates with me because it highlights the importance of creating a life that's rich in time and mobility, rather than just wealth. When you have time freedom, you have the ability to pursue your passions and interests, to travel and explore, to spend time with loved ones. You have the ability to create a life that's truly meaningful and purposeful. So, what becomes possible when you apply this learning? What pain stops when you start designing your lifestyle? For one, you'll no longer feel stuck in a rut like you're just going through the motions. You'll feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment, like you're living a life that's truly yours. You'll have the freedom to pursue your passions and interests, to travel and explore, to spend time with loved ones. You'll have the ability to create a life that's rich in time and mobility, rather than just wealth. Imagine waking up every morning feeling excited and fulfilled, rather than stressed and overwhelmed. Imagine having the freedom to pursue your passions and interests, to travel and explore, to spend time with loved ones. Imagine creating a life that's truly meaningful and purposeful, a life that reflects your values and priorities. This is what's possible when you apply the concept of lifestyle design. To start solving this problem, you can take one simple action today. Take 10 minutes to write down your values and priorities. What's most important to you in life? What kind of lifestyle do you want to create? What kind of person do you want to be? When you have a clear sense of your values and priorities, you can start designing a life that aligns with them. You can start creating a life that's truly yours, a life that's rich in time and mobility, rather than just wealth. So, take that first step today and start creating the life you truly want. Now that we've explored this powerful insight, let's move on to the next transformative learning. You're constantly trying to manage your time, aren't you? You set reminders, create to-do lists, and prioritize tasks, but somehow you still feel like you're not getting enough done. You're stuck in a never-ending cycle of busyness, and no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to catch up. You're exhausted, stressed, and feeling like you're barely keeping your head above water. You're not alone in this struggle. Many of us have been sold on the idea that time management is the key to productivity and success. But what if I told you that this concept is actually a myth? The traditional idea of time management is based on the notion that we can control time, that we can somehow manipulate the clock to get more done in less time. But the truth is, time is a fixed entity. It's a constant that we can't change, no matter how hard we try. So, why do we keep trying to manage it? Why do we keep setting ourselves up for failure by trying to control something that's beyond our control? The answer lies in our deep-seated desire to feel in control, to feel like we're getting somewhere. But this desire is actually holding us back. By focusing on time management, we're taking our attention away from what really matters, the present moment. We're so caught up in trying to plan, schedule, and organize our time that we forget to enjoy the journey. We forget to live in the moment, to appreciate the beauty of life, and to find joy in the simple things. And that's where the concept of eliminating the time management myth comes in. This idea, as discussed in the 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, is all about letting go of the need to control time and instead focusing on enjoying the present moment. So, why does this matter to you? Why should you care about eliminating the time management myth? The answer is simple. It's the key to achieving freedom and fulfillment. When you're no longer stuck in the cycle of busyness, when you're no longer trying to control time, you're free to focus on what truly matters. You're free to pursue your passions, to build meaningful relationships, and to find joy in the simple things. You're free to live a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. Let's take a look at the Italian concept of dolce far niente, or the sweetness of doing nothing. This concept is all about embracing the present moment, about finding joy in the simple things, and about letting go of the need to be constantly productive. It's about taking time to appreciate the beauty of nature, to enjoy a good cup of coffee, or to simply sit in silence. This concept is a great example of how we can eliminate the time management myth and focus on enjoying the present moment. By embracing dolce far niente, we can break free from the cycle of busyness and find more joy, more peace, and more fulfillment in our lives. Another great example is Timothy Ferriss's own experience with time management. In his book, he talks about how he used to be a slave to his schedule, how he used to try to control every minute of his day. But then he realized that this approach was not only unsustainable, but also unfulfilling. He realized that by focusing on time management, he was taking his attention away from what truly mattered: his relationships, his health, and his personal growth. So, he made a conscious decision to let go of the need to control time and instead focus on enjoying the present moment. He started practicing mindfulness, meditation, and yoga, and he found that these practices helped him to stay present, to appreciate the beauty of life, and to find joy in the simple things. The Italian concept of dolce far niente and Timothy Ferriss's experience with time management are just two examples of how we can eliminate the time management myth and focus on enjoying the present moment. These examples show us that it's possible to break free from the cycle of busyness and find more joy, more peace, and more fulfillment in our lives. They show us that by letting go of the need to control time, we can focus on what truly matters: our relationships, our health, and our personal growth. As Timothy Ferriss says, time is a gift to be enjoyed, rather than a commodity to be wasted or saved. This quote resonates deeply with me, and I hope it does with you too. It's a reminder that time is a precious gift, and we should use it to live a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. We should use it to pursue our passions, to build meaningful relationships, and to find joy in the simple things. We should use it to enjoy the present moment, to appreciate the beauty of life, and to find peace in the midst of chaos. So, what changes when you eliminate the time management myth? What becomes possible that wasn't before? For one, you'll stop feeling like you're constantly running out of time. You'll stop feeling like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of busyness. You'll start to feel more relaxed, more at peace, and more fulfilled. You'll start to enjoy the present moment, to appreciate the beauty of life, and to find joy in the simple things. You'll start to pursue your passions, to build meaningful relationships, and to find purpose in your life. Imagine waking up in the morning, feeling refreshed, renewed, and ready to take on the day. Imagine having the time and energy to pursue your passions, to build meaningful relationships, and to find joy in the simple things. Imagine feeling more relaxed, more at peace, and more fulfilled, even in the midst of chaos. This is what's possible when you eliminate the time management myth and focus on enjoying the present moment. To start applying this learning, I want you to take a small step today. I want you to take just 10 minutes to sit in silence, to appreciate the beauty of nature, or to simply enjoy a good cup of coffee. I want you to let go of the need to control time and instead focus on enjoying the present moment. When you do this, you'll notice a shift in your perspective. You'll start to feel more relaxed, more at peace, and more fulfilled. You'll start to enjoy the present moment, to appreciate the beauty of life, and to find joy in the simple things. So, take that first step today and start living a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. With that understanding in place, let's dive into another crucial insight from the book. You're stuck in a never-ending cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, with no clear escape route in sight. Every month, it's the same story. You work hard, earn a salary, and then watch as it all gets sucked away by bills, expenses, and debts. You feel like you're running on a treadmill, getting nowhere fast. The dream of financial freedom seems like just that, a dream. You're not alone in this feeling. Millions of people are trapped in this cycle, feeling like they're drowning in a sea of financial responsibility. But what if you could break free from this cycle? What if you could create a source of income that would fund your lifestyle, allowing you to pursue your passions and interests without worrying about money? This is where the concept of creating a muse comes in, a source of income that can fund your lifestyle, giving you the freedom to live life on your own terms. It's not just about making more money. It's about creating a system that generates income without requiring your direct involvement. Think about it. What would it be like to have a business or investment that generates passive income, allowing you to travel, pursue hobbies, or simply enjoy time with loved ones without worrying about the financial implications? This is the promise of creating a muse, and it's a game changer. So why does this matter to you? Well, let's face it. The traditional 9-to-5 job is not designed to provide financial freedom. Most people are stuck in a cycle of trading time for money with no clear escape route. But what if you could create a source of income that would fund your lifestyle, regardless of whether you're working or not? This is the power of creating a muse. It's not just about making more money. It's about creating a sense of security and freedom that allows you to live life on your own terms. Now let's talk about how this works in real life. Take Timothy Ferriss, the author of the 4-Hour Workweek, for example. He created a business that generates passive income, allowing him to travel and pursue his passions. He's not alone. There are countless examples of people who have created a muse, funding their lifestyle and achieving financial freedom. For instance, there's the story of Michelle, who created an online course teaching photography skills. She invested time and effort into creating the course, but now it generates passive income, allowing her to travel and pursue her passion for photography. Or take the example of Alex, who invested in real estate, generating rental income that funds his lifestyle. These are just a few examples of how creating a muse can change your life. The concept of income autopilot is also a great example of how individuals can create a muse to fund their lifestyle. Income autopilot refers to the idea of creating a source of income that can be automated, requiring minimal effort to maintain. This can involve creating a business, investing in real estate, or pursuing other income-generating activities. The key is to identify your passions and interests, and then create a plan to turn them into a source of income. For example, if you're passionate about writing, you could create an ebook or online course teaching writing skills. If you're passionate about fitness, you could create a fitness program or app that generates passive income. The psychology behind creating a muse is also fascinating. When you're stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, it's easy to feel like you're not in control of your finances. But when you create a source of income that funds your lifestyle, you suddenly feel a sense of freedom and empowerment. You're no longer tied to a 9-to-5 job, and you can pursue your passions and interests without worrying about the financial implications. This is a powerful feeling, and it's one that can transform your life. As Timothy Ferriss says, the key to creating a muse is to identify your passions and interests, and then create a plan to turn them into a source of income. This is a simple yet powerful concept. When you're doing something you love, you're more likely to be motivated and driven to succeed. And when you create a source of income that funds your lifestyle, you're free to pursue your passions and interests without worrying about money. This is the ultimate goal of creating a muse: to create a life of freedom, fulfillment, and financial security. So, what becomes possible when you create a muse? For starters, you're no longer tied to a 9-to-5 job. You can travel, pursue hobbies, or simply enjoy time with loved ones without worrying about the financial implications. You can also pursue your passions and interests without worrying about making a living. Imagine waking up every morning, feeling excited and motivated to tackle the day, knowing that you have a source of income that funds your lifestyle. Imagine being able to say yes to opportunities that come your way without worrying about the financial implications. This is the power of creating a muse, and it's a game changer. To apply this learning, start by identifying your passions and interests. What are you excited about? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Once you've identified your passions and interests, create a plan to turn them into a source of income. This may involve creating a business, investing in real estate, or pursuing other income-generating activities. The key is to start small and take action. Don't try to create a muse overnight. Instead, focus on taking tiny steps towards your goal. For example, you could start by investing $100 in a stocks or real estate investment trust, REIT. You could also start by creating a simple online course or ebook that teaches a skill you're passionate about. Here's a simple action you can take today. Take 30 minutes to brainstorm ideas for creating a muse. What are your passions and interests? What skills do you have that could be turned into a source of income? Write down as many ideas as possible, and then start to research and explore each one. This is a simple yet powerful step towards creating a muse, and it's something you can start doing right now. When you take this action, you'll start to feel a sense of excitement and motivation. You'll start to see that creating a muse is possible, and that it's not just a pipe dream. You'll start to feel like you're taking control of your finances, and that you're on the path to achieving financial freedom. So, take the first step today, and start creating a muse that will fund your lifestyle and change your life forever. Now let's turn our attention to the final key learning that can truly change how you approach this. You're stuck in a never-ending cycle of burnout and exhaustion. Every day feels like a grind, and you're just trying to survive until the weekend. But even the weekends don't feel like enough time to recharge, and before you know it, you're back to the daily grind, feeling drained and unfulfilled. You're not alone in this feeling. Many of us are trapped in this cycle, and it's taking a toll on our mental and physical health. The reason you're stuck in this cycle is that you're not taking the time to truly recharge and reflect on your life and goals. You're constantly pushing forward, trying to get more done, and never taking a break. But this approach is unsustainable and is ultimately leading to burnout. What if you could break free from this cycle and create a life of freedom and fulfillment? The concept of taking mini retirements or regular breaks from work can be a game changer. By taking time off to travel, pursue hobbies, or simply relax and unwind, you can recharge and reflect on your life and goals and make changes to achieve a more fulfilling life. Let's dive deeper into why taking mini retirements is so essential. When you're constantly working without taking breaks, you're not giving yourself the time and space to reflect on your life and goals. You're just going through the motions, trying to get everything done, but not really thinking about what you want to achieve. But when you take a break and step away from your daily routine, you're able to clear your mind and gain a new perspective. You can think about what's working and what's not, and make changes to improve your life. For example, have you ever noticed how sometimes you'll be working on a problem and you just can't seem to figure it out? But then you take a break, go for a walk, or do something else, and suddenly the solution becomes clear. That's because your mind has had time to relax and reflect, and you're able to approach the problem with a fresh perspective. This is what happens when you take mini retirements. You're giving yourself the time and space to reflect on your life and goals and make changes to achieve a more fulfilling life. The concept of vagabonding, or taking long-term trips to travel and explore, is another great example of how individuals can take mini retirements to recharge and reflect on their lives and goals. Imagine being able to take a few months off to travel the world, learn new skills, and pursue your passions. This is what vagabonding is all about, taking the time to explore and discover new things and to reflect on your life and goals. And it's not just about traveling. It's about taking the time to focus on yourself and your own personal growth. Timothy Ferriss, the author of The 4-Hour Workweek, is a great example of someone who has used mini retirements to recharge and reflect on his life and goals. He's written about how he's taken breaks from work to travel, pursue hobbies, and simply relax and unwind. And as a result, he's been able to achieve a life of freedom and fulfillment. He's not just working for the sake of working, he's working towards his goals and living the life he wants. And this is what you can achieve too, by taking mini retirements and focusing on your own personal growth. The key to taking mini retirements is to schedule regular breaks from work and use this time to recharge and reflect on your life and goals. This may involve taking time off to travel, pursue hobbies, or simply relax and unwind. It's not about being lazy or avoiding work. It's about being intentional and focused on your own personal growth. And when you do this, you'll be amazed at how much more productive and fulfilled you'll feel. You'll be able to approach your work and life with a fresh perspective and make changes to achieve a more fulfilling life. So, what pain stops when you apply this learning? The pain of burnout and exhaustion stops. The feeling of being stuck in a never-ending cycle of drudgery and boredom stops. You're able to break free from this cycle and create a life of freedom and fulfillment. You're able to recharge and reflect on your life and goals and make changes to achieve a more fulfilling life. And this is what it's all about: creating a life that you love and living a life that's true to who you are. Imagine waking up every morning, feeling refreshed and renewed, and being excited about the day ahead. Imagine having the time and space to pursue your passions and interests and to focus on your own personal growth. This is what's possible when you take mini retirements and focus on your own personal growth. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're living a life that's full of purpose and meaning, and you're achieving your goals. To start applying this learning, you can begin by scheduling regular breaks from work. This might mean taking a few days off every few months or taking a longer break every year. It's not about being selfish or indulgent, it's about being intentional and focused on your own personal growth. And when you do this, you'll be amazed at how much more productive and fulfilled you'll feel. You'll be able to approach your work and life with a fresh perspective and make changes to achieve a more fulfilling life. So, here's what you can do today to start solving this problem. Take out your calendar and schedule a break from work. It might be a weekend getaway, a week-long vacation, or even just a few days off to relax and unwind. Whatever it is, make sure it's something that you'll enjoy, and that will give you the time and space to recharge and reflect on your life and goals. And when you do this, you'll be taking the first step towards creating a life of freedom and fulfillment. You'll be breaking free from the cycle of burnout and exhaustion and creating a life that's true to who you are. Let's continue with the next important learning. You keep feeling unfulfilled, like something's missing in your life. You've got a good job, a comfortable home, and great relationships, but despite all these blessings, you can't shake off the feeling of emptiness inside. You're not alone in this. Many people struggle with finding purpose and meaning in their lives. It's like you're going through the motions, doing what's expected of you, but not really living the life you truly desire. You feel like you're just existing, not thriving. This sense of void can be overwhelming, making you wonder if this is all there is to life. The truth is, you're not just searching for a sense of fulfillment, you're craving a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. You want to wake up every morning feeling excited and motivated, knowing that you're making a positive impact on the world. But right now, you're stuck in a rut, unsure of how to break free and create the life you truly want. The good news is that there's a way out of this void, and it starts with filling it with purpose and meaning. This is exactly what Timothy Ferriss talks about in the 4-Hour Workweek, where he shares his own journey of creating a life that aligns with his values and priorities. So, why does this matter to you? Well, when you're living a life that's true to who you are, you feel more confident, more motivated, and more at peace. You're no longer just going through the motions, you're living a life that's intentional and purposeful. You're making a positive impact on the world, and that feeling is priceless. But how do you get there? How do you fill the void with purpose and meaning? It starts with identifying your values and priorities. What matters most to you in life? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to make? Let's take Timothy Ferriss, for example. He's a great example of someone who has filled the void with purpose and meaning. He's created a life that aligns with his values and priorities, and he's making a positive impact on the world. He's not just talking about it, he's living it. He's shown us that it's possible to create a life that's truly fulfilling, a life that's not just about making a living, but about making a difference. And that's what you want, isn't it? You want to make a difference, to leave a lasting legacy, to be remembered for something meaningful. Another great example is the concept of living in the present. When you focus on the current moment, you're able to appreciate the beauty of life, to see the world in a new light. You're no longer worried about the past or stressed about the future. You're living in the present, and that's where true fulfillment lies. This is not just some abstract concept. It's a practical way of living that can be applied to your daily life. Imagine waking up every morning, feeling grateful for another day, another chance to make a difference. Imagine going to bed every night, feeling fulfilled, feeling like you've made a positive impact on the world. The psychology behind filling the void with purpose and meaning is simple. When you're living a life that aligns with your values and priorities, you feel more confident, more motivated, and more at peace. You're no longer searching for meaning, you've found it. You're no longer feeling empty, you're feeling fulfilled. And that's what you want, isn't it? You want to feel like you're living a life that truly matters, a life that's making a positive impact on the world. So, what becomes possible when you fill the void with purpose and meaning? Everything changes. You're no longer stuck in a rut. You're moving forward, making progress, achieving your goals. You're no longer feeling unfulfilled. You're feeling satisfied, feeling like you're making a difference. You're no longer worried about what others think. You're focused on what matters most to you. You're living a life that's true to who you are, and that's the most liberating feeling in the world. Imagine waking up every morning, feeling excited and motivated, knowing that you're making a positive impact on the world. Imagine going to bed every night, feeling fulfilled, feeling like you've made a difference. That's what's possible when you fill the void with purpose and meaning. That's what's possible when you create a life that aligns with your values and priorities. You're not just existing, you're thriving. You're not just going through the motions, you're living a life that's intentional and purposeful. So, what can you do today to start filling the void with purpose and meaning? It's simple. Take 10 minutes to reflect on your values and priorities. What matters most to you in life? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to make? Write down your answers and then start creating a plan to make it happen. It doesn't have to be a big plan. It can be a small step, a tiny action that you can take today. Just start moving forward, and the rest will follow. Remember, filling the void with purpose and meaning is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a journey of discovery, of growth, of transformation. And it's a journey that's worth taking because the payoff is immense. You'll be living a life that's truly fulfilling, a life that's making a positive impact on the world. And that's the greatest reward of all. As we've explored in the 4-Hour Workweek, Timothy Ferriss's groundbreaking book, we've discovered a new paradigm for living and working. So what does all this mean? Let's bring this all together and reflect on the powerful insights we've gained. We've learned about the concept of lifestyle design, which involves creating a life tailored to our own needs and desires, rather than following the traditional path. This means taking control of our time and energy, and designing a life that is rich in experiences and personal growth. Remember, eliminating the time management myth means focusing on enjoying the present moment, rather than trying to control time. When you combine this with creating a muse or a source of income that can fund your lifestyle, you gain the freedom to pursue your passions and interests. And by taking mini retirements to recharge and reflect, you can avoid burnout and maintain a sense of purpose and direction. Finally, filling the void with purpose and meaning involves identifying your values and priorities and creating a life that aligns with them. Together, these insights give you a powerful framework for designing a life that is truly fulfilling. As you apply these principles, you'll find that the difference between who you are now and who you want to become isn't about massive overnight changes. It's about understanding these principles and applying them consistently, one small step at a time. Success isn't a destination, it's a continuous journey of learning, adapting, and growing. With these insights, you now have the map to guide you on your path to freedom and fulfillment. If this summary gave you valuable insights, hit that like button and subscribe for more book summaries like this. And let me know in the comments, which of these key learnings resonated with you most? Perhaps you're already thinking about how to apply them to your own life, or maybe you have questions about how to get started. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next summary, where we'll explore another powerful book and discover new insights to help you achieve your goals and live your best life.